In Egypt, the first funerals have begun taking place for those caught up in yesterday's violence in the capital, Cairo. At least 24 people died and hundreds were injured when security forces clashed with Coptic Christian demonstrators who were demanding better protection from attacks by radical Islamists. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes reports on the worst violence since the uprising that ousted the former president Hosni Mubarak.
This is the piece of video that today is enraging Cairo's Christians. It appears to show a military vehicle careening wildly through a crowd of Christian protesters. And this of an armed mob trying to smash their way into a vehicle thought to be carrying Egyptian Christians. What sparked the spasm of sectarian violence that swept Cairo last night is still a mystery, and who was behind it. But today they started burying the 25 people killed, almost all of them Christians, many mutilated beyond recognition. This afternoon, thousands of Christians crowded into Cairo's giant St. Mark's Cathedral. The mood here is not sombre. The faces are filled with passion and anger.
Egypt's Christians are not a small, insignificant minority. These people are part of a community of 8 million, 10% of Egypt's population. But they are a community that feels increasingly under attack, particularly from hardline Islamic fundamentalists. And they say since January's revolution, things here have got worse, not better.
The violence in Cairo follows the burning of a church in southern Egypt last week. Leaders of the Christian community here say that attack was part of a pattern.
Attacks on their churches, on their homes, on their property are becoming more frequent, and what's horrifying more than the attacks themselves is the reaction on part of the regime and the government and the authorities. They are all reluctant to enforce the rule of law and to protect the Christians against the crimes that they are subjected to.
Egypt's January revolution has made this country much freer, but also more chaotic and more open to Muslim extremists who view Christianity as an alien religion. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes, BBC News in Cairo.
Well, let's bring in Dr. Ibrahim Habib, who is president of the United Copts of Great Britain. He joins us now live from our Birmingham newsroom. Thank you very much for joining us. Do you see these Coptic Christians who have been killed here as the victims of sectarian violence or having been killed as a result of a security crackdown?
Well, I've been watching the events over the last 30 years, and I think the hatred message and the persecution of Christians has been taking place. Sectarian violence has been going on for over 30 years and underreported. There is no mystery in the situation. We are reaping the seeds of hate culture and inacceptance of the presence of Christians in Egypt. They are now thought to be second-class citizens. They have to be humiliated. They don't have equal rights. They have less rights than the Muslims. Their life is not accepted as worthy of a Muslim life. And there has been over 400 killings over the last 30 years. We didn't see any serious prosecution of the perpetrator of violence. We have seen gross appeasement by the government of the militant Islamists. This has been becoming increasingly so over the last, the last 9 months since the revolution. There are 3 cases of burning churches. We would like to know where the perpetrator of violence. We never seen any serious attempts by the government to show that the government is treating Christians and Muslims equally. The problem is now we have seen attacks by the Muslims joining the army yesterday, and shouting the Muslims and the army is one hand. We have seen the Muslim militant mobs stopping the ambulances going to the Coptic hospital to treat the victims. We have seen the Nile TV perpetrating rumors that three...
Sorry, I just want to interrupt you for a moment, because you talk about the violence having been going on for the last 30 years. Has the situation worsened since the fall of Hosni Mubarak for Coptic Christians?
Yes, it has indeed. It has worsened a lot, because we have seen the freedom following the revolution, leading to the militant Islamists, the Salafis, having a free hand in the society, intimidating, persecuting and terrorizing Christian minority without any repercussion, and with a culture of total impunity. They know that the Christian life has no price, the Christian property, nobody will ask them. They have free hands, and the Christians are really having a very hard period and real grave concerns for their lives and their families and their properties. And life is like a hell for a Christian person in Egypt now. And of course, I put the blame entirely on the Supreme Military Council, who has consistently failed to protect the Christian citizen for 9 months. It has not shown a single example of treating the Christians fairly, and the persecution.
Dr. Ibrahim Habib, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.